Well, hey neighbors, and welcome to the Shed Shop. In this video, I want to show you something. This is a STIHL MS361, and I want to show you something that is causing it to randomly stall, I think. I have lots of footage on this saw on the channel. I'll go ahead and try and put some info cards up there for you neighbors. But the thing is, I wanted to go ahead and do some diagnostics on it to try and find the problem. Once in a while, I like to reuse certain things and try different things out, like fuel lines and different rubbers and stuff, and see, feel it this way, that way, and see what works, what doesn't, what's good, what do I end up having to replace. And I think I have found my problem. I literally hooked up my vacuum pressure tester into my fuel line, and I just pumped up. It stayed at 5 for a second, and then as soon as I went to where we need to do to test a fuel line, I can feel the air kicking back hard immediately. And I do believe, based on the way my fuel line feels, it's holding air, which means if the air was escaping inside my carburetor, that would mean I might have an air leak in my carburetor. But because this is full of air still, and we're at basically zero, I believe my fuel line is the problem. And so what I would like to show you is basically the actual proper procedure to test our fuel line. We're going to go ahead and remove our carburetor and remove our fuel line from our carburetor, and then we're going to test the two individually and see if one of them, or which one of them, is the reason we're having a leak right now. Okay, so that being said, my back is killing me today neighbors, so I'm moving a little gingerly, a little slow, and this isn't about how to remove these parts on this saw. This is just a general video, and so I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna go ahead and get my carburetor off, and then you guys can get up and get some snacks and stuff if you want. But I am hoping this won't be too long of a video. The other thing is, this has a small fuel pickup body in it, and there's, again, debate, but I have found every once in a while, if I have a weird problem like that and I can't find nothing else, just putting the bigger pickup body. If I've done modifications, like I opened up this muffler a lot, okay, and this has an aftermarket piston in it. It has a good Meteor piston in it. So I'll be back with you neighbors. Go get your snacks. Okay, got our carburetor here. We can test our fuel line on the saw. We're gonna set that aside for now because we want to look at our carburetor first and eliminate that. And if it does have a leak, we need to fix it. But we'll test it first and see what it's looking like and see what it's doing. And we'll go from there. Okay, neighbors? Fair enough. Okay. So here. Total about 7.5 pounds. Sometimes I'll go up to 10. That's if I'm really struggling to find an issue with something. Always get the light. Okay, we do have a teeny tiny leak down. Okay, hold on, maybe it's the light refraction again, damn it. Let me watch for a minute. I'll pause you. I want to stare at this for a minute, sorry. Okay, so we do for certain have a very slow leak down right now in our carburetor, but we need to figure out where. You can use soapy water. I like to usually use 2-stroke if it's here. This in depth that I know I don't care about having to clean all this off, because this saw needs to be listed, because current subscribers and anybody else that's watching right now, Shed Shop 2.0 is almost here. The building is ready, and if you know anything about the situation, you know that I didn't have enough rock because the quarry did me dirty. So I have established a new place to get rock, and I had to pay $500 more that I did not anticipate. Plus I had to buy cap bricks because it's not 3/4 rock. They basically gave me fines mostly, and so I can't set the building directly on my stuff. Oops, damn, that sucks. Sometimes you do have to go to the point of submerging your carburetor. And my thing is, if I don't see anything on the outside immediately, I have to go in then and check my inlet needle on the other side, okay? Because that could be the other thing that's leaking. And I don't see anything very obvious, but when you have slow leaks like this, This hasn't had fuel touch these diaphragms in like 2 weeks probably, and sometimes that causes false positive basically, because the fuel helps, I guess, the gasket seal. At least that's what a couple of guys that I watch on YouTube have been saying for years. See, because now we're not presenting, it's so slow it might be hard to see too. Okay, the other thing that is immediate is on this side is our, damn, I need to sit down, my back hurts so bad. Let's see, I want to keep this video kind of short. Okay, so I have done some carburetor stuff other times, you guys. Basically, the other area it might be leaking, I've shown how to find air leaks on carburetors. I've shown air leaks presenting on carburetors for you guys, and you can find those mostly in the older how-to videos, some of the current ones, and I have lots more that I've recorded for you on this kind of stuff that's not on the internet yet. And so I'm working hard to try and bring all of that to you whilst trying to take care of my health and my uncle and my animals and my property, etc., 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 as a disabled American struggling with pain who just wants to be left alone and live his life. But that's kind of hard in America, unfortunately, anymore. It's kind of hard anywhere in the world. You can't live out in the middle of the woods and be left alone. It's not possible, especially when you can't grow your own food because your land is garbage and you need money to make your land better. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna be upset if this carburetor gets stuck at all, because this was just rebuilt not that long ago. Okay, it's not going to. Excellent. Alright, so that is basically what we're usually checking when we're pressure testing our carburetor, is to see if our inlet needle is seated right there. And it is very hard with oil to get that present. You have to stare at it forever, and you have to go up to like 10 psi at least. And it's hard to get to present, but I can kind of show you what I'm talking about if you listen and watch. Okay, you see that? Okay, and given how much fuel just came through, I don't think it's our inlet needle that is our culprit. But what I will do is I'll go in here and I will fit me a Q-tip into a drill and clean that seat really good, and then we'll go through this again. But for now, I really think my culprit really is my fuel line. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you the procedure. Now listen, I don't know, you guys, please understand, I'm not a certified mechanic. I only have access to the same information you do on the internet. And so I can go by this procedure. I used to know this procedure by heart, with the numbers of how many PSI, and this might vary by types of fuel lines, this and that, blah, blah, blah. This is a basic Husqvarna, I believe, test to test a fuel line. It teaches you how to pressure test a tank and to test your tank vent. Duckbills are one way. Yes, I've been trying to get the guy. I don't mean to say bait him, but I put out there at one point, because I don't like to tell people this is how it is. I like to say something, I think this or that, maybe, I don't know, and then see what people say in the comments, to see what knowledge is out there, to see if there is differences of opinions on something as how a tank vent works, whether it's one way or two ways. They used to only be one way. The ones today, you guys, I've mentioned all the parts inside of them, and then said, you know, I've shown you my redneck way, and I still, even though it's a two-way vent, I can largely, if I can blow air in very easy, and it's much more restricted for me to suck air out of that tank vent, then I know it's usually unlikely that my tank vent is the culprit. That's just a quick redneck way. If you don't have this $150 freaking tool, you can have a Chinese one, yes, but that's just one way. We've been leaking down. I should have put oil on this thing whilst we were leaking down and see if we could see any bubbles come up. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always present. So sometimes it's just a matter of going in. We could always take this paper gasket and we can put the tacky gasket spray on it. Just a gasket. Don't I need to show you guys that procedure one day. You can't do your diaphragms and stuff. Okay, it's such a slow leak. It's hard to tell, but I do think I see an air bubble. I can't tell if it's the light or not though. This is much better with soapy water, but unfortunately I keep forgetting to make my bottle because all my spray bottles are garbage now. Even my $9 and $10 spray bottles don't work right anymore. Yeah, it's so slow, guys. It's so very slow. I think at this point, let's real quick spray. I think I have some cleaner that degreaser over here, and we'll clean this oil off. And while we're doing it, we'll see if that will present us bubbles. But it's so soapy, or so it foams up so easy. Sometimes it's you get a false positive as well. I thought I just saw a big bubble form there. Nope. Okay, yeah, it's 100% going to need proper soapy water, or it might even need submerged. I mean, we've lost such little pressure. That's how much it takes to seal it up, just some water or oil. And it's that, but that little air leak can cause you problems. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to have that. And so you want to eliminate that being an issue, you know, before you sell us all that you're saying is good to go and is refurbished. I'm trying to make sure I don't get a skirt of not having money and put a bad product on the market. I'm broke as hell, but thanks to all you guys' support, I'm able to be a little more cautious before I send my saws out, because sometimes I don't like it and I like to just check in on people. I'm like, is your saw okay? You know, people out in California like Nick or James up in Kentucky. Okay, so now basically here's what we're gonna do. They say to seal it off with hemostats as close to the filter end as possible. New O-rings, sometimes they get tight. I had it plugged off so fuel wasn't spraying out by the pressure in the tank, and I believe you can do that too. I can plug that off and test through this end, and it's really this end I think is bad. The problem is it's hard to hold that and do everything at once, and so we can go ahead and do it the way they say, and then if we need to confirm, we can do it a different way, and we can even take our tank all the way, or our line all the way out if we have to. I think we will, because I feel like this end is just, it's too flexible, and I think it is collapsing or bubbling up or something, or has a pinhole in it. Okay, so they say as close to the filter end as possible. I would think if I hemostated right there, I would think that's probably sealed. Okay, now it says we need to, neighbors, do that, get this, put it in here. Okay, I need to get a smaller tip, I guess. I have it right here, see, I was almost prepared. Okay, put this in here. Okay, and we need to go with pressure first, I believe. Let's see, connect the pressure tester to this and align pump pressure to 14 psi. I feel like that's kind of high, but okay, we'll go ahead. Pressure, here we go. And it needs to, I think, not bubble within 30 seconds. And it needs to hold the pressure, which it's not. Which, that's the question, is it on our hemostat end? I don't think so. I thinks we need to drop this biscuit in water. You see it holding, neighbors? You see that? Let's see. Okay, so then it says the line must not leak or bulge out within 30 seconds. Well, I don't know how much bulging out would be considered. I am looking at the top of this line versus the bottom, and this half I can see. You guys cannot. Down in this tank, this half of the line is way wider than the rest. Okay, and we are still losing pressure too, but that might be back here or at our hemostats. The only way to determine that is to sink this thing in water Either way, I can promise you this much. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to know the issue because I want to teach people the silliest little thing. I don't like to just try and eliminate this, and this all at once. Okay? I don't like just fix the problem by fixing everything again. I like to go and say, okay, sometimes we have to dial it down this technical, because sometimes it is something like, even if you have a brand new fuel line, to me that's not passing. Okay, the way I can see the rest of this line, I will have to show you guys in the future. You have my word, as to the best of my ability to remember giving you my word, that I will. Now we need to go vacuum, and it says the minus 50 kPa. It's 15 inches of, I think they call it mercury, Hg. Okay, in vacuum. So it says to go to 15 in vacuum. And then what it says, I'm just trying to give you guys the technical, because I'm not always the best at explaining. I was talking to a neighbor about why I struggle to do educational videos, is because in my mind it makes sense, but to explain it, it doesn't make sense when I'm explaining it in my mind as well. Okay, so then we need to pressure, and it says the line must not leak or collapse. So if this line sucks in on itself all the way within 30 seconds, it needs to be replaced. And it says if it leaks, it needs to be replaced. We're leaking on pressure, but again, that could be at our fittings, and there's only one way to irrefutably, that's take our line out and submerge it in water. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go 15. Damn, can you guys even see the saw? I'm doing you so dirty with the view. I'm so sorry, I don't have room. It's so hard to just set stuff out of the way because there's nowhere to set it most of the time. Everything is so messy and so tightly spaced. But Shed Shop 2.0, been waiting a long time. I've been working my arse off. Alright, here we go. And this thing is collapsed on itself 100% right here. 100%. Our fuel line, because it does that, the top of it is not, neighbors. Okay, I really got to get you guys in to see this. I think my inspection line, damn, is outside. No way. Okay, let me pause you guys. I want you guys to see this. I need to do another video with the chip. Do you see that? That is 100% collapsed in on itself. And up here, you can see it's not. Look, damn, where's my flashlight? It's an inspection light, anything you see, you guys. I try to do you so right on these videos. And my flashlight, which is always here and I rarely use it, is not here. And my inspection light, which is always, here's my flashlight back here. Maybe Uncle borrowed it, I don't know. The inspection light, I know I have that there. I just set that over here. Maybe it was both me. Okay, so sorry this is so long. Okay, if you look down in this tank, damn, we might be too late. No, you can see right here where my light is, it's not collapsed. Okay, right here is not collapsed, but it's collapsed back here. Okay, and then up there it's collapsed again. Okay, this thing, I knew as soon as I touched it, I was like, yeah, yep. So I kind of had a theory. I forgot. I had to look back in my notes, you guys, and watch footage and stuff and try and recollect what the hell I did with this saw. Did I leave something in just to test theories and stuff? And that's what I was doing. I had a theory this fuel line might not be good. And so I'm willing to bet if we replace this fuel line, okay, we'll figure out where this is not sealed. We'll replace the fuel line. I will put this back together and run it on the saw, okay, and then I will pressure test it after running some fuel through it for a little while, and see if it passes then. So I'm going to go ahead and get a new fuel line for this. I have to drain the gas and everything else. That is the challenge. I thought we was just going to have a 5-minute class together today, you guys, Daryl. But I'm glad you guys, Daryl and others that hang out a lot, I'm glad you guys like the longer videos. Vecino Jose in Santa Fe, New Mexico. See, New Mexico, yes or no? Tell me in the comentarios, in the comments, if it's Santa Fe, New Mexico, neighbor. Okay. Hola, vecino. Mucho gracias para your support. ¿Cómo se dice support in Espanol, neighbors? Do any of you neighbors speak Spanish? If so, would you like to start giving me lessons on the phone? Because I'm too lazy to do Duolingo, and it frustrates the hell out of me. Okay, so that is the thing, because I've got to drain all the fuel and everything else, neighbors. I'm not able to pull this out and just verify in front of you with a better view. I hope you have an understanding, and I've been wanting, and it's on my list of videos. I'm going to give you guys a video very soon of we'll do it with this fuel line. Even very soon we'll get a brand new fuel line and this fuel line, and we'll do the comparison side by side. And I will bring that to you guys. Okay, until next time, be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a battle. Will Chainsaw Redeemer be able to redeem this MS361 and get over all the nightmares that it has caused him? Stay tuned to find out, and subscribe to the damn channel and hit the bell. Neighbors, be kind to one another.